Hello again, everyone. Welcome to a brand new edition of Big Time Sports. My name's Joe Dunn. Hopefully you'll stay with us for the next 25 minutes as we talk high school basketball all over Stark County. I don't have to tell you how cold it is. Bitterly cold. High school basketball starting to heat up. The next 2 or 3 weeks, I'll crown our champions in all the various leagues around Stark County. Then, this time next month, we'll already have 1 week in the sectional playoffs already complete. So a lot of high school basketball yet to play. And if you're a high school basketball fan, I know you're looking forward to some great basketball here in the next month to 6 weeks. How about some of the big wins from last week all around Stark County? There's some big wins as always. How about Massillon? Off to a great start. I think they're 13-1 going into this week. They beat Hawken 88-45. Central Catholic got a big win over Colonel Crawford 62-55. Northwest continues to play really good basketball. They beat Fairless last week 78-36. Meanwhile, Pearlie got a Federal League win over Green 47-28, and Alliance also continues to play great basketball. The Aviators over Minerva 60-48, and Ignatius knocked off McKinley by a score of 71-60. But the Pups are for real. They'll be very highly seeded when the brackets are announced in about 3 weeks. Hey, Big Time Sports, Big Time Game of the Week will be over at Jackson on Friday night. Should be the two of the top teams in the Federal League battling. McKinley at Jackson, Troy Richardson, Mike Galeen will be there for the play-by-play in color. You can watch the game right here Friday night at 11 o'clock, Saturday morning at 9, McKinley at Jackson. If you're a high school basketball fan, you know those two teams that battled through the years. Should be an outstanding game right here on Big Time Sports. In addition to that McKinley-Jackson game, some other games we'll be watching on Friday night around the area. How about Akron-Ellett down at Massillon to take on the Tigers? Hoover will be at Perry in the Federal League. Kenston will be at Lake. Marlington at Alliance. Manchester will be at Northwest. That's for first place in the pack. And Hoban will be at Central Catholic. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk more basketball with our highlight team this week. The Jackson Polar Bears and head coach Tim DeBevick are here. We're back with more Big Time Sports right after this.
Thinking about selling your car? Make it fun at Ferris Chevy Toyota. We buy all cars, any truck, any SUV, and we pay top dollar, even if you don't buy from us. It's fast, easy, and yes, car buying is fun at Ferris. Visit us on the Wabash in New Philadelphia or start online at ferrischevitoyota.com. Ferris Chevy Toyota on the Wabash in New Philadelphia.
You're only as good as your people. And what we've done here is that we've created a culture where people flourish.
We don't want it to be a transaction. We want it to be something where there's a consultative approach, a relationship that allows us to really, one, ensure our customer the right way, but then two, to let them understand the value of getting to work with us.
It's an extreme amount of satisfaction for this team that we have right now. We've developed a team that is solely based on relationships.
I'm Seth.
And I'm Matt.
And we're West End Pizzeria. Here, every pizza starts by hand. Fresh dough, real cheese, and toppings piled high the way you like them. It's not just dinner, it's that warm hometown flavor that keeps friends and families coming back. Dine in, carry out, or grab a slice on your way home. West End Pizzeria, located at 130 West Lisbon Street in Waynesburg, Ohio. We'll save you a slice.
Featured team this week, the Jackson Polar Bears. If you're looking for a program that's always near the top of the Federal League, always a title contender in the state of Ohio, it is the Jackson Polar Bears. If you welcome in their outstanding head coach, Tim DeBevick, and it's always nice to have a head coach and a team coming in after a big win. And they got an overtime win over Perry Tuesday night, 53-50 over at Jackson, a game you watched right here on Big Time Sports. So, Coach, welcome to the program. It's always nice when a winning coach comes in. That was a nail-biter Tuesday night. You got to win. Tell us about it.
Yeah, we'll take it. You know, that's our 5th in a row now, and I think we're playing well right now. You know, we knew it was going to be that type of game. Just happy, you know, our kids played well at the end and finished the game. Like overtime win, we'll take it. We scored 3 points in overtime to win. So, you know, just one game at a time. But I thought, you know, the kids did a nice job fighting back and just staying with it. And very good team we played. Perry, you know, they're playing good, and you know, obviously went to the final four last year. So
exactly. Well, right now you're 11-5. You're 7-3 in the Fed. The last time I saw you guys play, and I try and keep part of the program and watch them as much as I can. We did that game with North Canton a couple weeks ago, which is a great win for you guys. And it seems like you've had played some great basketball at times this year. And if you can continue to do that, you could make a nice tournament run.
I agree. You know, our goal is always to win the Federal League, and you know, we're right there. You know, we're still right there, but right now we're probably a little out of it. McKinley's got no losses, so you know, game here and there, we could have been right there in the hunt. You know, we lost at home, up 10 going into the fourth quarter against Hoover, and then obviously at Perry. So, you know, we're just looking to get better right now and getting these wins for tournament seeding purposes. Try to get a home game.
You know, I looked at your roster before the season, and I know you like to develop players in that great youth program you have over there, but I can't believe how many young freshmen you have on that varsity roster. It's a good group, and tell us about that group and how they're coming along now during the season.
You know, every year is different. There's years, you know, we have a lot of freshmen play freshman basketball. And I could tell you, your son played freshman basketball. Our best guards, like your son and Miles Griffin, and you know, our two state point guards played freshmen. Right. So we're just at the point right now, you know, we're playing these young guys because, you know, that's who's in our program, the kids walking our hallways. But Brad DuPont and Ethan Stanzalowski were two outstanding guards with your son, and I mentioned Miles Griffin, but they all play freshman basketball.
Exactly.
And this year, you know, we got a young group. We brought 6 freshmen up, and they're developing. You know, obviously, gotta get better, gotta get stronger, maturity-wise. But we're you know, we're doing a nice job. I think they're doing a nice job. You know, just developing as players and learning. You know, you go from 8th grade to playing varsity or playing JV. It's a little different.
Do you find right now, Coach, that the players that come into your program can play at the varsity level a little bit earlier because they're playing basketball earlier, the AAU and all that, or they're coming in more prepared to play?
I think so. You know, the kids are playing so many games during the summer and the off season, and you know, a lot of them got trainers, and there's a lot of people out there, you know, they work year round. You know, we got some gym rats. You're a couple of these guys tonight, our seniors, that they're in the gym all the time, and that's what it takes. You know, the good ones do that, spend a lot of time in the gym, like your son, and I go down the line, and the kids in our programs, you know, spend a lot of time in our gym, and that's why our program's been so successful. And you know, we got 450, 500 kids in our youth program right now, you know, through our travel programs and the summer stuff, and it just carries over. It's nice to see these guys from 3rd grade all the way through and see how they develop. And
seems like every maybe 5 or 10 years you come up with a good group of big men. You can go all the way back to you know, Kyle Young, Logan Hill, Josh Angler, Mark Henniger, and now you got another big freshman that's following in their footsteps. It seems like you've been blessed with some great big men to coach. Yeah,
you know, I always tell people, you know, to get to state or win a state title, you got to have 2 bigs. You just mentioned them 2 years that we won a state title, and you know, I go down to state every year just like you do. You know, you used to take your son down there, but great times. But every time I saw a Division I team win it, they had 2 good big kids. So I think a couple of the young kids are going to develop. You know, we got 6'6" kids, 6'4" kids, 6'3". So freshmen, hopefully they grow some more inches and keep improving. That's all we ask for.
Right now, you've got a few games left before the tournament starts. I think the tournament draw is a week from Sunday, I think, is when they'll pick the
February 22nd.
Yeah, exactly. What have you been doing well? What do you have to get better at here in the next maybe 6, 7 games to really feel confident going into the tournament?
You know, it always comes down to maybe, you know, staying focused or executing sets, you know, down the stretch and getting stops defensively. We got to get a little better defensively and taking care of the ball. I think we need to do a better job. I mean, obviously, against Perry, we had too many turnovers, but I think that'll come. You know, tournament time, you got to be, you know, be ready to go. You know, mix up defenses and execute, you know, offensive sets and score. So I think we're going to do that hopefully and peak at the right time.
Of course, you and I go way back to when there was only, I think, 2 divisions, then 3 divisions, then 4 divisions. Now they got 7 divisions. You never know where you're going to end up until that Sunday. Where are some of the district sites? And I know you don't know where you're going yet, but is there any local sites that we can look forward to? We've
been looking at that. Obviously, Lakewood, they have 2 district sites, and then Barberton's local, and then obviously that's
Barberton will have a D1,
Division I, and Copley's going to have a Division I. So I'm really familiar with that area and played at both facilities. I mean, I remember going up there and losing the district final with Kyle Young and your son their senior year. So A lot of memories. I mean, that was a bad memory, but no, them are local. So we're trying to stay local, and hopefully, we keep winning. We can get a home game. And now it's different. Like you just mentioned, you go straight into the districts.
Yeah.
So last year we played the district semifinal, and then you move on to the district final. There's no more 2 cupcake sectional games maybe, and then go to the district.
What about your youth program? I can remember when my son was part of that youth program, there was like 450, 500 kids. And what's it like right now? And is the young people that are coaching those kids are still developing the way you want them to?
Yeah, times have changed a little bit, but I think we're going to keep that program on top. We don't want to let the program slip. Our varsity staff's in charge of, the camps during the summer, and then we pick the travel teams. Now it's down to second grade travel.
All the way down to second grade?
Yeah. We got 2 second grade travel teams, 3 third grade travel, 3 fourth, 3 fifth, 3 sixth grade travel. So we got a lot of kids playing travel basketball. And I think sometimes they get nicer gear than the middle school and the high school. But no, it's nice to see them kids develop, but now it's just starting so early. And I think they're doing the right thing. They're playing good competition to a lot of tournaments and game situations.
So you got 2 teams or 3 teams in all those divisions. Then by the time they get up to the freshman year, it's all come into one team, and that's when you really start developing those kids. And I know there's a lot of players that work hard to get into that 9th grade group, and it's not always it's tough to cut those kids because they've been with you for a long time, some of those 2nd or 3rd graders.
Yeah, that's probably the toughest part of our job. You see these kids grow up, and then you got maybe have to cut them or they start doing other things, but it's tough. Like you just mentioned, there's 2 7th grade teams, 2 8th grade. Yeah. There's 24 8th graders, and now you cut down to maybe 12 to 15 freshmen, and then after that cuts down to about 10 sophomores, and then you're going to see tonight, we have 2 seniors left in that group. So just one of them things, every year is different. We had 8 seniors when Kyle Young won a state title, and then with Mark Henniger, we had 9 seniors. So it's just every year is different. The kids walking our hallways, we got to get better and just keep on them about working hard and keeping the program on top. Our goal is always going to be the same: win a Federal League title, get to the district title, and maybe get down to Columbus and win a state title.
Tell us about your coaching staff. I know you're proud of the guys that work with you every day.
I can't ask for a better staff. I know my wife gets on me, hey, you got a big staff, Tim, but it's good. It's a good staff. I mean, I can go down the line. Coach Purdue's been there over 20 years.
For a long time.
He was with Larry Taylor. That dates him back, 23 years plus. And then obviously he was with Fuel Line and me. So he's been there over 20 years. We got. It's nice to see young men that play for us, like Coolidge is on our JV staff, assistant coach. Kyle Young's on our staff, living in Jackson now. Danny Turnborough played for us at Jackson. So we got 3 guys, and Coach Emil's now coaching this year, and he played for Larry Taylor. So great staff, with Coach Wassity and Coach Bailey and Coach Harvey. I mean, Coach Harvey's a guy that's been around for 35 years with the 8th grade.
I call him the mayor of Jackson.
Yeah, he might be the first mayor of Jackson. Him and Jay Rohr, they'll be fighting it out.
Exactly. What about the remainder of your schedule? I know you always play a really tough schedule to challenge your guys. What's it look like the rest of the way?
We got some home games. We got, 5 of our 6 last games at home. So we're fortunate we're going to play, Cheney, that's a really good team that beat St. B. We got Louisville that won the state title last year, and then Massillon's 14-15-1 right now. So we're going to be challenged. Mark that on your calendar. That's going to be, sellout crowd maybe at our place February 27th against Massillon. So we can't look forward to that, but it's going to be a nice crowd, and to get our guys ready for the tournament, we got to challenge them at the end of the year.
We talked about some of your young guys, Coach, before we bring some of them on. What about some of the seniors, your senior leaders this year that have really helped you get up to 11-5?
They're here tonight, and hopefully, I'm glad they're here, and they're going to talk to you tonight about, these are 2 guys left, Caden Loy and Jackson Bowen. They've done an outstanding job this year for us, and they've really come a long way, and they work hard. I can go down the line and just so many good things about them, and they're leading our team, and that's why we're 11-5. Yeah. They're good locker room guys. They're in practice. They're on guys, the younger guys, and being good role models for them.
Sure. I'll tell you what, Coach, why don't you stay put? We're going to take a break. We've got 2 young men that can't wait to get up here and talk some Polar Bear basketball, so don't go away. We're back with more Big Time Sports right after this.
Thinking about selling your car? Make it fun at Ferris Chevy Toyota. We buy all cars, any truck, any SUV, and we pay top dollar, even if you don't buy from us. It's fast, easy, and yes, car buying is fun at Ferris. Visit us on the Wabash in New Philadelphia or start online at ferrischevytoyota.com. Ferris Chevy Toyota on the Wabash in New Philadelphia.
Altman is here for you, in your community, because you matter. We're proud to be the area's first and only independent health system. We are one team, joined together and committed to one mission, to lead our community to improved health. And we've always been here, dedicated to providing you with the very best in care, wellness, education, insurance, and more. For your community and for your family, Altman is always here for you.
Scammers are always looking for their next target, but you don't have to be one of them. With BBB Scam Tracker, powered by the Better Business Bureau, in partnership with Amazon and Capital One, you can easily report and look up scams, and it's free to use. Learn about scams, get tips on how to avoid them, sign up for alerts, and more. Visit bbb.org/scam tracker and help put scammers out of business.
Okay, welcome back to Big Time Sports. Our featured team this week, the Jackson Polar Bears. And talking about Big Time Sports, how about our featured game of the week? This Friday night, McKinley at Jackson. That'll be our Big Time Sports TV game of the week. You'll be able to watch that one Friday night at 11 o'clock and again Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. Should be the best game in Stark County. McKinley at Jackson. Should be a full house for that one, and you can watch it right here on Big Time Sports. Okay, Coach, you brought two seniors with you. I got a young guy sitting next to you I know you're proud of. Why don't you introduce him?
You know, Jackson Bowen Sr., obviously been our program all the way through. He's been the guy that, I'm telling you, comes off the bench and gives us a spark. He's shooting over 50% from threes. Just being a leader for us, you know, for these young guys. And he's come a long way, like I said, both of them have. And it's nice to see these guys come through the program and see them grow up. But I'm very proud of him, and I look forward. You know, he's going to be successful in life, just like Caden is. Yeah. I think these guys, the hard work they do on the court,
sure,
it's going to carry over. So I'm kind of anxious to see what he does after, you know, high school. But we got a lot of work left to do, and he's a big part of that this year.
Well, welcome to the program. Tell us about how it all started for you with basketball. I'm sure you're a Jackson kid growing up. Did you get into the youth program? And tell us how you developed as a basketball player to where you're at right now.
Started playing like third, fourth grade.
Come
up all the way through the program. I had a rough couple years, like freshman year, first year JV, kind of rough, but kind of persevered through it, kept working, kept getting better, and then we had a lot of kids. And like we had 8 seniors. We would have had like 8 seniors. We had 3 or 4 quit last year, a couple before that. So, I mean, just kind of stick with it and kept growing, kept developing.
You heard Coach and I talk about all the travel teams that develop into that freshman group, and you're on that freshman team. And you look back, how all the guys you played with back in travel ball, and all of a sudden you look up and you're one of those 13 guys. How did that feel to finally arrive and know you're going to be part of the program?
It's amazing. I mean, you work all the way through up to, you know, you dream about playing on that varsity court, and it's a pretty cool experience just to make it all the way through and play with the guys I'm playing with.
If you look at yourself as a basketball player right now, what are you doing well? What are you proud of? And what are some of the things you still want to work on to get better in the last half of the season?
I'm shooting the ball amazing right now. I'm shooting, I think today I'm at like 67% shooting the ball from 3. But I would say more leadership, you know, work on leading, building everyone together. And then I'd say team defense in general. First time we played McKinley, gave up a lot of offensive rebounds. I think that's part of the reason we didn't play well against McKinley the first time. So I guess team defense and rebounding and converting back on offense. Yeah.
Talking about your expertise as a shooter, do you feel comfortable with the catch and shoot? Do you like to come off screens? Do you like to shoot in transition? Or what do you think your strength is in shooting that 3?
Whatever my teammates can find me. I think if I'm open on that line, I like my chances of that going in. But playing off the ball with Caden's our go-to scorer, so when he gets the whole defense to collapse on him, makes it easy on me.
All the shooters I've known, the the ones they miss don't bother them because you always feel the next one's going in. And how do you forget about maybe if you've missed a couple in a row, you come up to an open look and maybe you hesitate? What's your thought process on that?
Like you said, next one's always good, but it's staying in a rhythm. I think I've made the last like 5, 6 in a row, so I mean it's always about next shot's good. So you miss one, it's you know, your team relies on you to step up, so you can't afford to.
Obviously, I've seen a lot of Jackson home games with the great crowds and the great student. What's it like over there at Jackson playing for the Polar Bears, knowing you're going to go into that gym, you're going to have great community support, students are going to be there? How's the adrenaline start flowing when you come on that court? It's got to be fun.
Oh, it's amazing. You get nervous for the game, but the whole community comes together for the basketball, and especially like all the parents and everything. So that's a great, it's a great community.
Sure. Of course, this is your senior year. You're hoping to make a long tournament run. You're not thinking about it ending. But once it does end, what are your plans for next year as far as college, and what would you like to study down the road? I'm
not going to college. I'm actually, my dad owns a life insurance company, so I'm going to do life insurance after high school. So that's my goal, and I've been wanting to do that for a while now, so that's what I'm planning on doing.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. What about in the spring? You're going to continue to play sports, or once basketball's over, you kind of take it easy the rest of the year until graduation?
I want to play AAU my last year. I haven't decided really what team or if I'm really going to play yet, but my goal is to play AAU and finish out one last good AAU season. As you look back at your career at Jackson, is there 1 or 2 games that you really feel proud of when you look back, maybe in your class reunion back in 25 years, you guys will be talking about that game? Is there 1 or 2 games you look back at? Not yet. I think they're coming. I think we're going to try and make a little tournament run. Yeah, and try our best there. So I think they're coming up. There you go. That's a great way to look at it. But I've enjoyed watching you play. Best of luck the rest of the way, and make a long tournament run. Have some fun. Thank you, sir. Okay, Coach, stay put. We're going to take a break because we have one more young man that's going to come up here and talk some basketball right after this timeout.
Thinking about selling your car? Make it fun at Ferris Chevy Toyota. We buy all cars, any truck, any SUV, and we pay top dollar, even if you don't buy from us. It's fast, easy, and yes, car buying is fun at Ferris. Visit us on the Wabash in New Philadelphia or start online at ferrischevytoyota.com. Ferris Chevy Toyota on the Wabash in New Philadelphia.
With Bell Store's Bell Buddy Rewards, you save in-store and at the pump. New members receive 20 cents off per gallon as a welcome gift. Everyday savings are made easy. Instantly enjoy 3 cents off per gallon just for being a member. When you spend $25 in store, unlock an extra 5 cents off per gallon on your next fill-up. Buy 5, get 1 free. Track your drinks and earn free coffee, fountain, icy, and espresso with drink clubs. So start saving today. Download the Bell Stores app and sign up for Bell Buddy Rewards.
Wouldn't it be nice if everything was easy? Primetime Health Plan is easy to choose and easy to use. That's why we've had the highest customer service rating for 10 straight years. Call 330-363-7407 to get all the benefits you deserve. Medicare made easy with Primetime Health Plan. Primetime Health Plan is an HMO POS plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Primetime Health Plan depends on contract renewal. Every year, Medicare evaluates plans based on a 5-star rating system.
Welcome back as we continue our conversation with head coach Tim DeBevick of the Jackson Polar Bears. Big game Friday night over at Jackson. If you're watching this game, you want to get over there and get a ticket and get there early. That McKinley-Jackson game is always a classic. If you can't make it, we'll have it for you right here on Big Time Sports Friday night and again on Saturday morning. And Tim, you got one player left, and he's a good one. He's one of your top players this year. Talk about him.
Yes, you know, it's nice to see him develop, and he's earned what he's got. I mean, he's a gym rat. I mean, one of the best I've ever seen. I've been coach for 34 years. The work that he's put in and where he's come from, 3rd grade to seniors, is phenomenal. Is unbelievable. It's amazing. He's going to go on to the next level, obviously after high school, but he's had a great high school career, and I think he's going to continue. You know, he's going to take us far in the tournament. These 2 guys. So. I can't say enough about him. He's been in the gym all the time, nonstop. You know, text me, get in the gym. But you know, a lot of hours. You know, his mom and dad, he can't thank them enough for getting him in the gym, and he's improved so much, probably one of the best.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the program. You fell in love with basketball, obviously. You wouldn't put that much time into it. Tell us when it all began for you. Who was the first person to put that basketball in your hands, and when did you feel like, I love this game, I'm going to continue to get better at it?
It was actually crazy because actually when I was in preschool, I picked up ball for my first time, and it was actually at recess. And then I didn't pick up a ball for Jackson until I was in 5th grade, and then progressed my way up through the program.
Of course, you're an outstanding shooter. Where did that come from? Who taught you to shoot the basketball? Because there's a lot of ways to go out in the backyard and the playground and get into some bad habits. Obviously, somebody taught you the right way to shoot. Who was that?
I looked at like people I looked up to, like NBA players, and looked at their form and stuff, and then my form and my percentages and all that stuff progressed as I got better and put time in the gym.
It seems like you shoot the ball with a lot of confidence. I mean, you're not going to let that miss bother you the rest of the game, and you're a very, I think, emotional player that feeds off the other players. They pick up on that. Tell us where that came from, and you go into a game with that type of attitude.
Yeah, well, I think as a team we really have good team chemistry, and that really we get good stop on defense, and just our momentum just keeps building and building as the game goes on, and that builds up players and helps us win.
Yeah, we talked to Coach about all the young guys you got on the team this year, a lot of sophomores, a lot of freshmen. You're the team leader right now. You kind of take those guys under your wing and tell them what Jackson basketball is all around you. Do you lead by example, or can you talk to these guys once in a while and tell them how to play? Yeah,
like Coach Spevic said, it's a big jump from 8th grade to varsity basketball. Oh, yeah. Even JV, like when I was an 8th grader, I came and played freshman basketball. Played a little bit of JV as a freshman, but even as a freshman going to sophomore year, I went from freshman to varsity, and that was a big jump for me. So I still try to help out these guys and help them improve and stuff.
Yeah, obviously you want to get better if you're going to play at the next level. Yep. What are some of the things you're constantly working on? In addition to your shot, what else do you try and get better at?
I mean, everything can get better. I mean, there's nothing that's perfect. So ball handling, shooting, rebounding, making a good pass, playing better defense. I mean, everything gets better.
Talking about assist and hitting the open man, is that something you take pride in? I knew you're a great shooter, but sometimes you love that assist to in transition, hit somebody with a nice bounce pass or an easy layup. How much fun is that?
It is. I mean, obviously I pride myself in scoring because, I mean, it helps us win, but I feel like finding the open man is something that I really take pride in.
Toughest places to play in the Federal League. I know you love to play at Jackson with that nice crowd support. Where are some of the toughest places to play when you get on the bus on a Tuesday or a Friday night?
I'm going to have to say probably McKinley, Memorial Fieldhouse, and Hoover. Both of those schools get a good crowd and make it hard for the opposing team.
Now, do you approach those games differently than you do playing at home?
No, everybody goes into the game thinking we need to win and have the same principles and everything, but it is definitely a different atmosphere for sure. Yeah.
Quick comment, where are you going to be next year? What would you like to play at, or what would you like to do?
Well, I've gotten some looks from some D3 schools and some D2 schools, but I'm looking to go do a post-grad year down in Florida at IMG.
Great.
And hopefully
great program down there.
Hopefully get some looks down there.
Sure. Well, best of luck the rest of the way, and thanks for coming over tonight. Coach, as always, thanks for coming. I'll keep following you guys in the tournament. As you know, I'm a big Jackson guy, so thanks for coming over tonight.
Hey, thanks for having us, and looking forward to the rest of the year.
There you go. Tim Bebevic, our guest, talking Jackson Polar Bears. Next week, Northwest will be here. See you back here next week with more Big Time Sports.
This has been the Big Time Sports Show.
Big Time Sports Show.